Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today I decided to create a really simple makeup look on Valentine's Day. This is a halo cut crease. That's what I've done on my eyes, and I've added a couple of bits. Let's just say it's a last minute makeup look when you want to get out and go party. I wouldn't call this my best look that I've done, but it's okay. I'm happy with my eyes. It's just I've got to experiment more with my art on my face to create something more extravagant for Valentine's. If you're interested to see how I created this look, then please just stay here and let us be. I tell you what, it makes it so much easier when you get one eye done and then you can do the other one on camera. What I didn't do, however, before getting on here is my primer. So let me get into that. Always need a primer before I do the rest of my makeup. I think I'm running out of this primer, so I'm going to start using another one. I do have a lot of other primers in the house, so I'm not deprived. I'm good. Alright. Also got one eyebrow done off camera, so all I have to do is the other one. Actually, you know, the way I say it sounds like a chore. I'll be doing my other eyebrow on camera and I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be lots of fun. Maybe you can see I've got some new things in my background. I got these flowers yesterday. Okay, so I'm going to be honest with you guys. I really wanted to have real flowers. However, I'm not a green thumb. I'm not a green thumb. So when it comes to looking after plants, I have a long way to go, and I'll admit that. So currently I have fake flowers and I feel like that is okay for now. When I get more comfortable, I will dive into using real flowers and actually put them in water. But the vase, or what is being used as a vase, was actually a Prosecco bottle. My husband had drunk some Prosecco and that bottle was left over, and I like being resourceful. Plus, I think it's such a, I don't even know what the word bougie means, but I've heard it so many times on YouTube. I get this feeling it means it's very high class. So I thought that would be very bougie to put in my background. Plus, the flowers fit, so, you know, it worked. And then I'm going to get on to starting this eye. As you can see, I've done a halo eye. I probably mentioned that earlier, but you know what? The more repetition, the better, because then you can really understand what I'm talking about. I'm looking forward to this. This will be good. I actually started with the eye first before the eyebrows. And that's interesting because I don't usually do that. Yet I found I had more control over my eyebrows after setting my eyes. Just gonna use my usual concealer and then get that on my lid. How is everybody doing today? I hope you've had a fantastic Valentine's Day, or whether you celebrate Valentine's Day or not, you've had a great day overall. Maybe some of you have been, you know, meeting new people recently. You started a new job, you started a new business, It could be that you are in a relationship, you've moved house. A lot of people around us are starting to move house. It seems to be the time to do that. Other people, they have pets, so they've been, you know, getting to get their pets settled in. Lots of different things happening. As for us, Greg and I were out and about today. I wouldn't specifically call it a Valentine's Day get out and about, but we definitely went to a new place to try out for lunch. After we went to church, I was singing in worship, and that went really well. Actually, it was one of the most successful trips to church I've had in a long time, so thank God it was good. And then, yes, we were going to Officeworks because Greg needed an extension cable for his webcam. You guys may have seen that yesterday in one of my videos. He is getting his webcam set up for streaming, and so he needed an extension cord so that he wasn't sitting on the floor, so that he can sit on the couch. And I completely understand that, because sitting on the floor for long periods of time gets your bum sore, and he doesn't need that. Therefore, he got his cord, and then after that we were thinking, you know, I wonder where we could go for lunch. And opposite where we were, there was this fantastic smell. Like, it smelled delicious. And that was it. We went next door to a place called Chompy's, which is, I believe, also known as the Basement in Belconnen, and they sell burgers and, you know, that type of, I consider it to be pub food. I could be wrong, maybe that's not the type of word they call it, but they had burgers and wings. So we had both. We had chicken wings and we had burgers, and it was so delicious. We're going back. I have called this a Valentine's Day look. I'm going to add my own twist to it, but at the moment, let me just start off by getting into the feel of doing some glam eyes. Plus, I'm doing another video after this, so I don't want to overdo it. And Valentine's Day, you can definitely overdo it. Alright, I'm going to be using my Sunset Horizons palette. I've been using that because it has a mirror, but this time I just want to use the eyeshadows in it, and maybe one eyeshadow I'm using as an eyebrow highlight, but you'll see that later on. Let's get into using this palette. We're going to start off with the shade Dusk with this fluffy BH Cosmetics number 8 brush. And this is what we're going to be using. In the crease. So just blending that back and forth. Alright, let's get that into the crease. I also had some time to meditate today, and that is very important for me. I like to make sure I'm meditating every day. So I did meditate today, and I find that I'm a lot calmer in certain situations than I used to. And I'm so excited I get to do these videos with you guys. And I want to thank you for new subscribers. I want to thank you for those of you who have recently joined, those of you who have been here since the beginning of time. I'm going to call it that because even my friend mentioning it to me the other day, she said, oh my gosh, I didn't realize you had a channel for 3 years. I have had a channel for a while. I have not been consistent, so that's probably why it hasn't really gone as well, grown as much as it probably could have if I had put more effort into it. But I'm getting there, okay? And I have this big belief that it's going to grow. This brush here, which unfortunately does not have a name, but it's another fluffy brush and it's perfect for eyeshadow blending. So I'm going to be using the shade Bikini. I'm going to be placing it, I will be placing it in the shade Bikini, which is a very light matte purple. I don't know, could we call it lavender? And I'm just going to basically place this a little bit lower in the crease. Actually using a darker shade. I'm going to be using a darker shade. I'm going to be using the eyeshadow EO2 brush, and this is called the shade Flamingo, and that is what I'll be placing on the outer corners of my eye. So you'll see what I'm talking about. So one on the left and one on the right. I want to keep it on the lower part of my lid if possible. However, you can always use a clean blending brush afterwards, and it, you know, it'll work. It'll blend it together, and therefore it won't be such a mess. It tends to be quite a messy look at the beginning when you're just working out where you want to add your eyeshadows. I'm a believer in taking my time, and I'm also a believer in being patient and knowing that everything's going to work out. So there's no need to rush it. Take your time, enjoy the process. It's fun. two sides actually, but I'm just going to be using the tiny brush at the top. It's a profusion one. Profusion palettes usually include a brush like this. I'm talking about the eyeshadow ones, or okay, what's this one? Oh, I want to use the shade Midnight, which is a matte black in the bottom corner of this palette, right below here. And I will be placing that on top of the Flamingo shade, only patting it on, and I'm making sure that I don't fully cover that Flamingo shade. I'm letting it peek out from my eye. I don't know where that came from, but something is flying in front of me. Okay. I don't know what that is. Okay. I'm just lucky I've got some natural lighting here to help me see what I'm doing. At first it's gonna look a little bit funny, but I really feel like the key to this look is just blending. Going back and using the brushes you used before. So even if you blend and you notice that the eyeshadows are fading, it's not a time to panic. Just believe that you can go back in and blend over the top and get that eyeshadow to stand out again, because every eyeshadow look, I believe, just needs a little bit of patience, and sometimes you do need to go back in and use your previous eyeshadows to help it all come together. Alright, and with this halo cut crease, you are going to be cutting the crease anyway, which means I'll be using a concealer and putting some of that in the middle of my eyelid. So I'm going to use a flat brush, which I use to actually apply concealer at the beginning, just for a regular eye base. And now I'm going to use it again, this time to just place it on my lid. Focusing it on the part that doesn't have eyeshadow, I'm going to look up and I can see that the eyeshadow reaches a certain height, and that's where I join my concealer together. If you use too much concealer, keep in mind that you can always go back in and use eyeshadow to blend over the top of it. And if you use too much eyeshadow, you can use concealer and blend over the top of that. It's possible, but there is a way to fix everything up and not think that just because it looks really strange at the beginning that you're not going to be able to fix it, because you absolutely can. And it takes time, you know. I don't want to believe that every eyeshadow at the beginning is going to be perfect, because when you're practicing, we know for a fact that things do need a bit more patience. Sometimes they do need more practice and experience. And sometimes it helps with different videos. Maybe my video helps you, maybe other videos help you, or other makeup looks will help you create a halo cut crease. So many videos out there that you can check out. I'm just using the light purple shade to blend over the top, because I realized that my darker eyeshadows were going a bit too high, getting closer to my brow, and I don't want that. As you can see here, there's a gap between the eyeshadows that are dark, lighter eyeshadow, and then the brow. So you can see that they're different, they're separated. Otherwise, if you're having your dark eyeshadow too high to your brow, it doesn't really look like you've got eyeshadow on, and your eyebrow gets lost, which isn't really the goal. So what I want to do now is actually use this flat brush here. It's one of my unicorn ones, and I'm going to very slightly use this shade Burst, which is like this shimmer orange, and that I want to only place next to the flamingo shade. I don't want to cover up the whole area that I've got concealer. I just want it peeking out from the flamingo shade. So that's why it helps to have a tiny brush in this case, so that I can still get another eyeshadow in the middle. As you can see here, I've got this yellow. I've got this yellow eyeshadow in the middle, and that's what I want smack bang in the middle of the other eyelid so that they match. And for that, I use my finger, and I don't know, what finger do you call this one? I've forgotten the names. You can tell me in the comments. I'm going to be using this finger to get Mirage, which is a shimmer yellow in my concealer area. See that? Of course it looks a little bit curly, or it doesn't look very neat at the moment. That's why you use the previous brush with the Burst shade and you blend that together. Just blend on top a little bit. Oh, if you notice what I noticed here, I've got a little bit of that yellow going a little bit too far. Oh well, it definitely makes it a shiny eye look. But I'm just going to pack on that flamingo shade, and that'll put it in its place. Even I make mistakes, okay? It's not something that everybody gets right the first time, and sometimes it takes a little longer for others to get it right, and that's okay. There's no race to have the perfect eye look. Really isn't. Now I'm going to be using my liquid liner, which is the One Day Tattoo liquid eyeliner from BYS. That is the name of the brand, BYS. And I'm just going to make a outline on the top of my eyelid. Makes it look a little bit more dramatic than if I was just to leave it as it was. You can of course skip this step. Now we work on the brow bone highlight, and then of course the brows. But what I'll do before I add brow bone highlight is I'm going to use my spoolie brush, which I've been using in the previous videos as well, just to brush up my eyebrow so that none of it collects any eyeshadow, that it's, I'd say that it's neat and shaped out of the way, so I have more space to add my brow bone highlight. And I'll be using this brush here, which is a Beauty Creations, and the shadow that I use is from a different palette, and that is Ace Beaut. So we're going to use the shadow here, which is the Barley. It's got a yellow undertone, but to me it's closer to a highlight shade than most of my other eyeshadows that I have around me. And I'm just going to place it underneath my eyebrow. Okay, it seems a little backwards because most people probably do eyebrows and then the eye, but I'm doing it this way. I know where I'm going to be placing the powder on my eyebrow. Anyway, so have a look there. Alright, and then before I move on to that, let's get mascara. I use the Full Bloom Lash. This is the CoverGirl one. I've used this before. It is waterproof, therefore it's going to be helpful whenever I'm anywhere near water, that the makeup will not come off, or the mascara in this case will stay on. And it's more childlike, well then so be it. I've had a good time doing it. I can't always promise myself to do a sophisticated eye look. Alright, BYS, here we go. Going to be using the cream in here. This is an eyebrow primer, and that'll set the eyebrows down. If you don't mind, I'm just going to do this one off camera. Foundation on. Really? I've used it all up, have I? I was gonna say, I think there's a bit more in here, is there not? I might have to get, I'm gonna get some more foundation because I'm about to run out. Let's get some powder to set my face, and then I can actually have some fun creating something sophisticated, hopefully, on my face to turn this into a to turn this into a Valentine's Day look. I am really looking forward to some experimentation. Having it be a Valentine's theme, I probably not focus so much on a contour, but more on having a blush. So if you've got some pretty shades of pink around you, what I've got here is my blush and bronze palette. I'm going to use that. And this fluffy brush here is a powder F01 brush, and I'm going to basically place on this bloom shade on my cheeks. Now I will be honest and say that when I don't add a contour, my cheeks do look a little bit bigger and plump. But I don't consider a Valentine's Day look to be something where you're sucked in and sculpted anyway. Okay, I'm gonna call this like a last minute sort of Valentine's Day look. You're needing to go out, you've already done the most glam stuff that you can possibly think of, but you still want to add some interesting things on your face before you go out and have some fun. So I would probably, I've got here a white crayon, so anything over this white crayon is definitely going to be, I want to say, emphasize the eyeshadow over the top of it, or any powder that I use is going to stand out a lot more. So I'm going to add a love heart on my forehead. Okay, can you see that? Just add a little squiggly line over my nose. Do you see that? Okay, and I'm also going to add a little heart. This you might need to get up close to your camera, and I'm going to join a little heart down on the side. Wonky wonky love heart, but it's okay, it's all right. Okay, so that's really gone crazy, but you know what, this is me. I like to have fun. I'm going to use the shadow that I had before. Just that's the case, I'm going to have to go back in and fix that up. Okay. Actually makes it more purple. Isn't that interesting? I'm really just experimenting here. I don't even consider this to be, what do you call it, sophisticated, but you know, it's fine. It's all good. All right, so I'm going to actually see if I can use my beauty blender and make the powder on my face a little bit softer. The lipstick I'm going to use is, oh, I'm out of battery. The lipstick I'm going to be using is my ColourPop one. This is the final look. What I love about it is the fact that I tried something different on my forehead where I added some love hearts. I know that anybody could pretty much create this look, so it's definitely not what I call advanced or sophisticated, which was kind of my goal today. Anyway, life goes on. I am gonna say that I will probably do another Valentine's Day look, but you guys have an amazing Valentine's Day. If you're not celebrating it, that's okay, because you can celebrate who you are, love yourself, and be the best that you can be, because every day should be a day that you celebrate for being alive and be grateful for who you are. So I'm so grateful for you new subscribers and those of you who have been on this journey throughout the whole time with me. I love you so much, and I will see you again soon. Bye bye.